Page 18, Prelude in D minor. They're talking about a special kind of pedaling here. I've already spoken of it before. It's called finger pedaling. It's where you hold the notes down with the fingers longer than maybe they're written, so they ring out longer, which is what the pedal would do. It was a very common type of pedaling back in early music, late 1700s, early 1800s, and after. I use finger pedaling quite a bit. It just helps the harmony and bring out the note a little more so you can hear it a little longer. Well, a lot of pieces, like even Bach did, they would write out the finger pedaling notes. Like here, look at the left hand. It's a whole note and an eighth note. It's two different voices. You don't play it twice, you play it once. When they're touching together like that, it's just one note. You play it once, but you're holding the whole note down, then as you play the others, you're adding it to it. And then here. You're finger pedaling it. Otherwise, you'd lift up the first note. That's all they're doing. This whole piece is basically made up of just one broken chord after another, or an arpeggio. An arpeggio, or an arpeggiated chord, is the type of broken chord where you play up the chord or down the chord, or up and then down. It's like in the first measure, it's here. That's the chord, it's the D minor chord, but it's arpeggiated. We play it up and then back down. We don't go all the way down, you don't have to, it's still arpeggiated. And this whole thing is that way. Just one arpeggiated chord after another. But you finger pedal the left hand. I like the fingering in the right hand most of the time because I use fourth finger on most of these. Like at the first measure, here. Because that's the fingering for the chord, that's the way it's fingered, so that's how I do it. Next line, you're here. I still use fourth finger though, not third. You use third. So I would use fingering in the book except, and this is right hand fingering. Second measure on page 18, first line, second measure. I use fourth finger on that. Here. And anywhere else in this piece I get that same chord, I'm using the same fingering. Page 19, second line, second measure, you're here. I use fourth finger on the C sharp. And that's really what it is. Third line, first measure, I use fourth finger on the F sharp. And anywhere else I'm getting the same chord, I'm using the same fingering. Look go down the last line on page 19. It's here. Again, I use fourth finger on the B natural. Here. Otherwise, I use the fingering in the book. Left hand fingering is fine. Now, one flat in the key signature. So all the F's are flat. We're sort of in D minor, that's fine. It's in cut time or 2/2 time, but when I learn a piece in cut time, I put it in 4/4 time first, and I put it back in 2/2 time after I learn it when I can feel it. So I would think of this as 1 and 2 and. Of course, it's all just eighth notes going all over everywhere, so in that case, you just 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. I'm just kind of thinking of it that way, and then the left hand, when it plays, it usually plays at the beginning of a measure. I'm making this a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Well, that's what I do. I can't help it. So just play even eighth notes. Soft at the beginning. It's both hands. Last measure on page 16, you have a poco crescendo, which means crescendo a little bit. I don't understand why it's poco. You're going to go up, they tell you at the last measure, the first line on page 19, you're going up to moderately loud. And the next line goes all the way to that, all that's a crescendo. So just go from soft to moderately loud. Plan it out. If you don't plan it out, you'll be moderately loud by the first measure on page 19. You don't want to do that. So we're staying soft on page 18. Page 19, still soft. Go up to moderately soft. Now moderately like did it a measure or two at a time. It just gradually spins. Then second line, you at the poco dim. Again, I don't know why the poco is there. You diminuate it, it gets softer. You're going to go back down to soft by the third measure. So you're moderately loud on the second line on page 19. Come down to moderately soft. Soft. Then moderately soft going on. Next line is soft, go down a little bit. And you're staying soft then. Okay. There's a DS Alfini at the bottom, so you're going to go back to the sign. You got to go find where the sign is. Well, the sign is the last measure of page 18. You're going to go back to and play that measure again. And the fine is at the end of the second line on page 19. There's a note there at the bottom of page 19. How many diminished seventh chords can you find? Well, remember, there's only 3 patterns on a piano for a diminished seventh chord. You have the 2 black keys. Keep in mind, we got 2 areas on the piano where there's no black key in between. Okay? For diminished seventh, you're using the black keys on those. That's 2 of them. So you just make your minor thirds on that or that. And the third one just has 1 black key, and that's that one. So it's here. So any chord in here that fits any of those 3 patterns is a full diminished seventh chord. So you just simply go through, like at the first, it's here. That's a D minor chord. The next one is here. That's not. I can't have 2 keys next to each other. They can have to be a minor third apart. So we go on. No, that's not. To this, they can't be more than a minor third apart. They got to be a minor third apart. No more, no less. Go on. Nope. 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 Well, we're not doing too well yet. Let's go over to page 19. Start with the third line. Let's check this. We're here. Nope. Because I got 2 notes next to each other. That's no good. Go on. No, that's a G minor chord. We don't want that here. I got 2 notes next to each other. I don't want that. Here. No, that's a D minor chord. Nope. Oh, we got a winner. It's the last line on page 19. The first measure. Skip out that. You got that one. Because the D is here. B is there. We got it. That is a full diminished seventh. Next measure. That's an A major. I found 1. Maybe there's more than 1. I went over that pretty quick, but you can check. I only saw the 1. So you can comment on, tell me, no, you're wrong. There's another one here or there. Have fun with that. Now, when you start talking about speed and interpreting that, we got to put it back in cut time. We want to feel it in 2. 1, 2, 1. The andante moderato is kind of a moderate, casual speed, and that's the feel of it. 1, 2, 1, 2. The 1, 2 is for the natural accents more, so it's 1, 2, 1. Feel that. So forth. Then they've added pedal. I don't know that you need pedal because you're pedaling it with your finger pedaling it. But they've added pedal. Don't pedal it anywhere else other than where they're saying you. And they're only pedaling this right hand. They want all of that. Otherwise you'd have to finger pedal the right hand. All the time. So in order not to have to do that, I guess they're pedaling. That's the only way I can say to pedal it. It's just don't pedal it any more than they're telling you to. The only difference that I would make would be on page 19, the end of the second line. Here, the last 2 measures. You're not pedaling those. And they're telling you to pedal that. I would not pedal that. You don't need. You're coming off it. You're getting softer. You're soft here. And the second time you play it after the DS, you slow down. I would not pedal it there. No. Again, I'm just giving you an idea. You can search on this and see if you can find it. Clementi, Prelude in D minor, I don't know. Probably more than one. I don't know. I just give you an idea. Please don't copy me and say, oh, is that how it goes? No, it's just how I played it. That's all.